Hello everybody, this is Doug with Stride Graphics and Web Design, and this is going to be a very basic tutorial just to show you how to add a new blog post. And the first thing I would do if you're starting a new blog is think of the structure, how you want to categorize everything, whatever it is that you are going to be writing about. Maybe you're writing about several different things, but for example, this client of mine is a counselor, and so there's going to be different topics that she can write about, creating different categories, maybe depression, dealing with seniors who are developing Alzheimer's. Maybe she just wants to have a news category just for some general updates or general information. So in order to, I would definitely recommend setting up just on paper, just coming up with how you think you want to structure it, because you don't want to be doing a bunch of work and then having to kind of go backwards and reorganize everything. That would make a mess with Google as well because of the way they index all your pages. So you want to try and get it right the first time. And don't think of just how you would want it set up. Think of how it would be easy for other people to sort of filter through all your posts so that they can find exactly what they're looking for. So you might have some subcategories too. So for depression, you might have teens with depression, seniors with depression, girls, boys. I mean, there's many different subcategories of depression that you could create. So keep that in mind when you get everything set up. So for categories, it's very simple. Just in your dashboard, underneath posts, you've got all posts, add new, categories, and tags. I'll just start off by going to categories here, and I'll just show you where you can add these categories. So name your category. We'll look to the right. These are the active ones right now. So there's depression, and then you'll see teens below it with a line in front of it. So that basically means that it's a subcategory of depression, or in other words, depression is the parent category of teens. So maybe we want to add another child category underneath depression, and maybe we can call this one adults. And of course you can make it whatever you want. Now just in this drop down here is where you would select the parent category, which is depression. And then throwing a user-friendly, URL-friendly version of the name. This should be generated automatically once we create it, but if you want it to be something different, and then description. So I'm just going to click on add new category, and there we go. Now we've got two subcategories of depression. So, and then here's news right here. So that would just be some general stuff. When we launched the website, the first post we did was talking about the launch of a new website. So that could be something that could fall underneath news. Okay, so now we've kind of, hypothetically, we've got our categories finalized. Now we want to create a post, maybe for adults dealing with depression. So let's go to the post section here on the left and just click on add new. And then maybe for the title of the post, we'll call it just very simply adults dealing with depression. And before I get into writing the content for this post, just out of habit, I always go down and check off the categories so I don't forget. So you'll notice I checked off both. So visitors, you want to give them the option to filter through as concisely as possible so they can find what they're looking for. So by checking both of these, they could actually check all the depression related posts, or they can just check the adult related posts. So that's what this is going to do. It's going to give us the option for people to be able to filter through both. So just kind of some good tips for writing your posts. It is good to use a few of these headings. By default, this title of the page or the post is an H1 heading, so that's the biggest size heading, heading 1. So it'd be good to utilize heading 2 as well. So whatever you want to make for sort of the first heading of the actual page after the title, and then you can put some content here, and then maybe add in heading 3. Just highlight that. And then under heading 3, maybe there'll be a paragraph of some text. And then maybe you want to add some bullet points, which is good. Google likes. Now, images are also very important for SEO. So if you set yourself up a featured image, just click on Set Featured Image here. It'll bring up your media library, or of course you can just upload from your local PC. And you can also embed images, just like pages. You can embed right into the page itself as well. So I'll just close that off. So I've also, just sticking to the topic of SEO, I'm using Yoast. It's a pretty popular SEO plugin for WordPress. So in here you can basically click on the edit snippet and you can customize the SEO title for the page, which is very important. And then also a meta description you could put in here, maybe a bit of a call to action, just to kind of lure people to your site. So for whatever focus keyword key phrase is, plug that in here and it'll basically give you some results of how you're doing, and it'll give you tips on how to increase the SEO, the on-page SEO for this page as well. So, you know, basically starting with the name of your title and sprinkling that key phrase and keyword throughout, right? It'd be good to have that key phrase in the first sentence of that first paragraph. You know, even if you have combinations of it, adults dealing with depression, get a little creative in sort of mixing that up. You don't want to be too repetitive and redundant, but you know, you do want to try and think strategy as far as SEO goes. So, oh, and one thing with the images as well, whatever images you're going to use, whether it being the featured image or an image you're going to embed in the page, name that image, the file name itself, make sure you're naming that so that it corresponds and is relevant to whatever the topic is. And then tagging the image is important too. And by tagging, just really quickly, I'll just use a random picture. Okay, here's a depression picture, and we'll insert that. So by tagging it, the title tag, just select the image, click on edit, and you want to basically tag it to whatever the topic is as well. So we'll put it there. Whoops. We'll put it there. Caption is even good as well. And then under advanced options, the image title attribute is very important. So we'll paste that in there as well. So that way when we update it, and let's just have a look at it. So we'll click preview. And we'll scroll down. So here's the preview of this page. If I hover over the picture, then we'll get the title attribute or the title tag coming up. Here's the caption. So that's just another good SEO on-page good practice. So I'd recommend doing that for sure. So I think that's it for that. So once you're happy with how everything looks, just hit publish. Which I'm not going to do right now, but you will notice on the right side menu I do have categories set up here, and once we have some active posts related to some of these new categories, those new categories will just automatically populate over here, so people will be able to filter through. And that's why it's important to have the parent categories, subcategories, and all that stuff's going to show up on the right side here, so people will just, you know, if they only are interested in teens dealing with depression, they can click on the link on the right and it'll show them only the posts for teens dealing with depression. Or they could look at all the depression if they click on the depression link. So that's basically how to simply add a post, and just the key is just being very organized and planning ahead, brainstorming, so that you don't have to go back and change your work and have a bunch of broken links out there in Google land. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take it easy.